Hello, this is Owen at Mission Winners, and I'm going to take you through a trade in just a second that we are up over 300 points in. And we're excited. We are really excited that things, in a market that's down about 200 points, the YMs are down about 200 points now, it's 12:15 Central Time. We've got some trades on that are doing extremely well. Let's just take a look at this real quick. Right here, we've got a chart of Tesla. I've got it marked on the chart here. We were in this trade on DS9 with an entry point of 338.30. 338.30. There's a little window that'll pop up there if I can get my cursor right on that spot. It's not going to do it for me now. Did it before when the video wasn't running, but now the video's running, it's not going to cooperate. You know how those things go. Anyway, this thing is just walking right up. We call this the Walker March. That's what we call this when it walks right up the 8. We call this the Walker March because if you're not familiar with Pat Walker and Mission Winners, come on over to missionwinners.com and take a look and see what we've got to offer because Pat calls these trades out. He's got a key list that goes out each evening with stock prices, with stock tickers and price triggers, and this was on the key list on the evening of, this is probably a weekend, so on the evening of 12/8, okay, so a Sunday evening for a Monday trade, 12/9, we were into this trade at 338.30. Now, have we sold a little bit into the strength as it's pulled up here, away from the 8? This is the 8 EMA, by the way. And yeah, absolutely we have. We sold a little bit more when it broke the 8 on this day, still closed above it. Did we sell a bit more into strength? Yeah, it's one of the things that we do. We sell into strength. It puts money in our pocket. Pulled back to the 8, never closed below the 8 though. It's just walking right up the 8. Now, did we sell some more today? We did, but we're still in the trade. We've still got some left. 300 and some points, and it's just doing the Walker March. And now let's turn it over to Pat as he takes us through the chart.
To really train our eyes, it's good to look at charts before they made their move. Why? It avoids that perceptual filter of, well, that was easy. Well, that's easy to do. Sure. Oh, there it is. Yep, that's sure. No. Analyze the chart so that it helps you truly understand the chart, but also your emotions. What are you feeling when you look at the chart? Folks, I say this a lot. The biggest part of this game is not what's before your eyes, it's what's between your ears. We got to get that screwed on straight. So I want to just show you something here. This is why I'm going to go back in time. Right here. You can see this little shelf going across here. Clean tops. Clean tops. Nothing fancy. Here's the 20-day. Say if it pushes through here on volume across this line right here. If it pushes across there, that's a buy. And what was my trigger to look at it? A couple of things. It's a max list stock. The chart had already moved up. It was above the rising 50-day. Going across this channel. And you advance it one day. And look, it does it. It goes through the tops on a pickup in volume. Stops right near the 20-day. This is when we bought it. And you can say, really? There's my cost, 338.30. All right? So we're in it. Advance it a day. It starts to go up on good volume. Advance it a day. And it goes up. And it continues. And just, how would you feel? How would you feel? Oh, this is great. Geez, I'm up 20 points. I'm selling. There's a lie on Wall Street, and it's this one. You'll never go broke taking a profit. Folks, got to tell you, that's a lie. If your losses are bigger than your profits, you'll go broke. Seen it. So what do you have to do? It's really simple. Let it trend. Let it work for you as long as possible. You can say, oh, that's it. That's it. It's over. Look, it's a red bar. Folks, it didn't even take out the previous day's low. And the volume was less than when it went up. And then it takes off again on a pickup in volume. Look at that. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Guess what? They voted. Does this, starts to do this. So here's a question, just got to ask. Because I like to kind of dig deeper with folks. And I've been a youth group volunteer for 20 years, so I always ask, hey, how you guys doing? How are things going? So a question for you. How are you doing? How are you doing with it? Not necessarily with this specific stock, but just in general. Are you finding yourself getting anxious at the wrong time? Do you find yourself, this is the big one, do you find yourself, two big ones, selling too soon? Do you find yourself not limiting losses? Do you find that you ride losses far too far to where you're really getting into trouble? Which, I got to tell you something, it screws up your financial situation and it also screws up your head. And I know through the years, I've had guys that trade call me up crying, man, I'm getting killed here. Have I ever felt awful about something I did wrong? Yeah. So what do we have to do? Have some rules and tactics, time-tested rules and tactics that fit you, that works. You can say, Pat, why do you say they fit you? I'm going to tell you something. I don't day trade. I don't look at 5-minute charts, all right? I'm making this video in afternoon. The market's been open over 3 hours. I haven't looked at a 5-minute chart. I haven't looked at a 10-minute chart. Now, if you do and it works for you, that's fine. But I want to ride longer term trends. I just think that's important. Hey, by the way, I'll share this with you. I'd love to hear from you. I love teaching, okay? If you've got questions, go ahead and fire away some questions. Put them in the comments. Feel free. And I take them very seriously, by the way. You could ask members, hey, is Pat, does he do serious stuff? Yeah, I take this to heart. I never want to make a mistake. I never want to tell something wrong. But do I ever make mistakes as far as recommending a stock? Yeah. Somebody said, oh, shoot, you can't say that. No, the person who never has a loss is a liar. So what do? We have rules to get in and we have rules to get out. We have rules to ride trends. Let them work. Let them work. This stock just continues on. Take a little bit into strength. Sure. Fine. Pulls back on a pickup in volume. Gets sell a little bit more off. Manages, starts to go. Does this. Lifts up. Look at the price volume relationships here. Up on heavy volume, down on heavy volume, but it was less volume than it went up on. Pulls back a couple of days to the 8-day moving average. You think we're the only people in the world that know about the 8-day? Boom, off to the races. Isn't that nice? And it just goes, walking up the 8-day. So you could ask, and again, fire away some questions. How are you doing with it? Hey, Pat, how do I do better riding this? Hey, Pat, how do I manage this? Go ahead. It's all right. I take it seriously. Shoot, I make videos all the time. If you couldn't tell, I'm shy about this stuff. And the stock just keeps on going. And this is right here today. Had the earnings and it's lifting off. Now I will tell you this, and the VIPs knew this, and they know this. If we did not have much of a profit cushion, we would have taken it flat. If we were down in it, we wouldn't have owned it. I'll never take a stock into earnings that I do not have a good profit cushion with. I've experienced through the years some big hits. So we learn from our mistakes and continue onward for constant improvement. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'd love to hear from you to say, hey, I owned this and this is how I managed it. Or, oh, by the way, this is confidential. Please, if, Joe Blow, I'm not going to sit there, yeah, Joe Blow from Phoenix, Arizona said, no, gosh, no. You got to be able to talk in confidence, all right? Just what's going on. As I said before, my goal is just to help people. I know what it's like to lose sleep and say, what the heck am I doing wrong? It drives you nuts. So it's like, hey, there's a good quote for you. And I speak at different places, but I love this thought. We're all in the same boat in a stormy, stormy sea, and we owe each other a terrible loyalty. If we can't be there and help each other, then what's the use of doing? What's the use of living?